Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I know it has definitely been a minute or months since I made a video. I've missed you guys and I've missed making videos, so I wanted to hop into it today. I don't want to get really into why it has been so long since I made a video. I will just say that something really difficult happened in my life suddenly and tragically. Maybe sometime I'll explain on here what exactly happened, but for now it's a little too raw and I'm still very much healing. I probably will be for a very long time, if not forever. I just feel like doing videos again and diving back in and doing them as often as I can would be a good thing for me. Again, thank you so much for clicking on this video. Hello to my new subscribers that I've gotten recently, and let's get into the video. For today's case, I'm going to be talking about the murder and kidnapping of 9-year-old Amber Hagerman. This case is most famously known for being the heartbreaking tragedy that caused the Amber Alert System to be put in place, which, if you don't know what that is, it is basically a message sent out by a child abduction alert system, letting members of the communities know that a child is in danger or has been abducted. It contains a brief description of the child who was abducted as well as the likely perpetrator, and this just allows members of the community to be as involved as possible to just help bring that child home. So yes, let's dive into the case that started the Amber Alert System that has saved hundreds and hundreds of children's lives. Amber Hagerman was born on November 25th, 1986 in Arlington, Texas, to her mother Donna Norris and her father Richard Hagerman. She was a sweet and adorable little girl with blue eyes and reddish brown hair. She was a Girl Scout. She got good grades. She just seemed like a very bright young girl. She was very, very close to her little brother Ricky, who was 5 years old at the time of her disappearance. Cute little thing that I saw was that her mom said that she would often call her little brother Ricky Bubba and he would call her Sissy. So that just shows how sort of close they were. They spent a lot of time together, and their favorite thing though to do was to ride their bikes. It was January 13th, 1996 on this very tragic day. Amber, her little brother Ricky, and her mom Donna went to go visit their grandparents, whose names were Jimmy and Glenda Whitson. Even though it was January 13th, it was winter. Keep in mind, this was a Texas winter, and Amber and her little brother Ricky asked their grandparents if they could go ride bikes, as they often would do together. And their grandparents said yes. They didn't really give it much thought. They said that would be fine. The one rule they gave them is that they were not to go farther than a block away. Before the siblings went riding away on their bikes, Amber's mother Donna recalls the last thing that she told her daughter was to stay with your brother and you come right back. To which Amber's last words to her mom were, "Okay, mommy, I love you." And Donna would have no way of knowing that several minutes later, Amber would be nowhere to be seen. But as Amber and Ricky were riding around, a block just didn't seem far enough for them to ride. So, as kids sometimes do, they defied their grandparents' rule of only going a block away and rode to an abandoned grocery store lot. It was an old grocery store called Winn-Dixie, which was just a little bit farther than the original block that their grandparents had told them to go. I believe it was about 2 blocks away, and they probably just thought it wasn't a big deal. It was only a little bit farther, and the abandoned Winn-Dixie grocery lot was actually very popular for the neighborhood kids to ride their bikes. There was this loading dock that doubled as a really fun bike ramp where kids would ride and do tricks, so they just wanted to go there. However, a few minutes passed riding at the abandoned grocery store, and Ricky felt very nervous about breaking the rule that his grandparents had gave him, so much so that he actually told Amber that he was going to head home, and Amber was having too much fun. She said, "Okay, you go home and I'm gonna stay here and I'm going to keep riding for a bit." So he said okay, and off he went. Now, of course, as soon as Ricky got back to his grandparents' place, he was immediately questioned by his mother and grandparents on where Amber was. And when she told them where she was, they sent him straight back. But when he got there, Amber was not there. Knowing something was not right, Ricky rode his bike as fast as he could back to his grandparents' place and told them of his findings, that Amber was not there. And even though he knew that something was wrong, his young 5-year-old mind probably didn't quite understand why his family went into a full-blown panic attack when he said that Amber wasn't there when he went to go get her. Now, Jimmy, Amber's grandfather, got straight into his car immediately and flew to the last spot that Ricky saw his sister. And when he got there, his heart absolutely sank when he saw that there was already a police officer at the scene. He knew that was not a good sign at all. Now, according to the police, they had received a phone call just a few minutes earlier from a 78-year-old man by the name of Jim Kevel, who was standing in his yard at the time of Amber's abduction. And he told police that he said, "I saw Amber riding up and down. She was by herself. I saw this pickup. He pulled up, jumped out, and grabbed her. When she screamed, I figured the police ought to know about it. So I called them." He said the truck was dark, possibly black. The suspect was white, possibly Hispanic, somewhere between 25 to 40 years old, medium build, and under 6 feet tall. And while he gave all the information he could, he said that he couldn't be entirely sure of the details because everything just happened so fast. Amber's bicycle was lying on the pavement, and that was the only sign of her. And what was unbelievable is from the time that Ricky rode home from the parking lot originally to go back to his grandparents, it had only taken 7 or 8 minutes for Amber to be abducted. A frantic search began for the blue-eyed Girl Scout. Donna, Amber's mother, put up so many pictures all around the town. She pleaded with whoever had Amber to bring her home safe. She showed the media photo albums of her daughter. She did absolutely everything in her power to bring her baby girl home. On top of that, law enforcement and many volunteers just did everything they can to look for her and locate her and bring her home safe, and just nothing came up. However, sadly, 4 days after Amber disappeared, a man who was walking his dog near the Forest Hill apartments, only about a few miles from where Amber had been abducted, he spotted at the bottom of a creek bed the body of a child, and they later found that the body belonged to Amber Hagerman. An autopsy determined that Amber had been kept alive for 2 days by her abductor, and in those 2 days she had been sexually assaulted, beaten, and had multiple stab wounds to the neck. And when the perpetrator was done with his absolutely sadistic games, he threw her into the creek, and she lay there until the man walking the dog stumbled upon her. The investigation quickly grew cold due to the lack of suspects and the lack of forensic evidence. Amber was found naked with only one sock, and there had also been a huge storm which caused a very strong flow of water to wash over her body, resulting in washing away almost all the DNA evidence. With that being said, in 2011, the Dallas Morning News reported that Arlington police detectives, as of late Wednesday, still would not disclose whether DNA evidence exists in the case or any other type of evidence for that matter. So if there is any DNA evidence in this case, the police are keeping it very quiet, very to themselves, which honestly, it's probably for a very good reason. I know in cold cases like these, sometimes it's a good idea to hang on to the evidence, keep it quiet so you can build your case and they can have a better chance of bringing justice for Amber and her family. Like I touched on in the beginning of the video, Amber Hagerman did not die in vain. It started making people ask the questions, you know, what if we knew about her abduction sooner? What if we knew what her abductor looked like sooner? And it was these conversations that actually made a massage therapist and mother call her local radio station and ask if there was a way they could coordinate with the local police so they can let members of the community know when things like this happen, as soon as it happens. And later that year, broadcasters coordinated a system with the local policemen where they could let members of the public know immediately when a child was in danger or abducted. And as of February 2020, 985 children had been located and saved specifically because of the Amber Alert systems. And while I know it doesn't bring Amber back to her mother Donna and the rest of her family, you know, it's something that she can look at, her family can look at and think, wow, our little Amber has saved so many lives. And I just think that's a wonderful thing. Such a devastating case, but again, I think it's incredible that it brought awareness to this and it gets the information out as soon as possible. It lets people know this is what the perpetrator could look like, this is what the child looks like, and everyone can band together to bring the child home safe. Thank you guys so much for clicking on this video and watching it. I really did miss making videos for you guys. I'd love for you to subscribe and like and comment and let me know what you thought, and I'd love to hear some ideas of cases you'd like me to research. I'm definitely open to that. And yeah, I'll see you in my next video. See you guys soon.